Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for your patience. Slight little glitch moving everybody across then. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our first project presentation for today by Sunrise Energy Metals. I'd like to welcome Sunrise Energy Metals Regional Manager Mike Wood to the stage. Mike is an experienced project manager with over 25 years operational experience in mining, minerals processing across nickel, uranium, copper and gold. He's held numerous leadership roles over the past 20 years across projects engineering, maintenance and operational disciplines. Please welcome to the stage, Mike Wood.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks, Kieran and the team at Connecting Industry for the opportunity to present to you today. Today I'll provide you with an overview of our Sunrise Battery Materials Complex, which is a greenfields nickel and cobalt project located in central west New South Wales. The obligatory cautionary statement on this presentation, so please use any information and statements in this presentation with caution. We'll run through a project update on the Sunrise Battery Materials Complex. We'll touch on our regional exploration activities, an update on our project approvals. We'll cover some of the regional infrastructure upgrades, battery recycling, an update on project financing, and an overview of future procurement opportunities. And I'll be happy to take any questions at the end. All right, so recent project milestones included being awarded major project status by the federal government late last year. This provides access to fast-tracked approvals for the project at a federal level. We also received a conditional letter of support from Export Finance Australia for a debt finance facility of 400 million. So EFA is the federal government's export credit agency who works with organisations on funding solutions for projects that contribute to the Australian export dollar. The latest project modification, Mod 7, was approved by the New South Wales Department of Planning and Environment in January this year, and test work is well advanced to include capability for lithium battery recycling and battery precursor production. Some of you may have known us previously as Cleantech or Cleantech Sunrise. So last year our company went through a divestment process to separate the two parts of our business, being the Sunrise project and our water business. The link between the two companies is the proprietary CleanIX ion exchange technology that will be applied to the recovery of nickel and cobalt in the Sunrise project. And this is also used in Cleantech Water's industrial wastewater facilities. So the parent company, Cleantech Holdings, has now been renamed Sunrise Energy Metals Ltd and commenced trading under the SRL ticker in April last year. The water business is demerged into a separate ASX listed company and retains the Cleantech name and branding. And a 1-for-10 share consolidation was also implemented during this demerger process. So in terms of the Sunrise project, so the Sunrise project is a large resource, so it contains over 900,000 tonnes of nickel and 160,000 tonnes of cobalt in resources, with reserves to sustain a 50-year operation, and also contains the world's largest scandium resource. So it's an approved state significant development. The process is fully integrated from battery ore grade nickel and cobalt sulfates, all at the one location. So lots of value adding there. The capital cost for the project is 2.368 billion, with a construction and commission time frame of 3 years. So I'm told it's currently the largest greenfields mining project in Australia. The project's construction ready, so we've already invested around 250 million in pre-development capex, with all key permits and land secured. The project is committed to 100% renewable power, and the flow sheet manages waste responsibly, for example, through use of waste heat for on-site power generation. The project sits in the first quartile for cash operating costs and will require around 1,900 people for a construction phase of 3 years, and then 340 locally based roles once we move into the operations phase of 21 plus years. So in terms of location, the project's located approximately 85 kilometres northwest of Parkes and Forbes and 40 kilometres from Condobolin. The project consists of the mining lease, ML 1770, a rail siding located 7 kilometres north of Trundle along the Bogan Way, the construction accommodation camp located to the south of the project site, and a limestone quarry located along the Fifield Trundle Road to the southeast of the mining lease. So the mining lease covers an area of approximately 2,800 hectares, and the planned site layout on this slide uses the bulk of that space. The mine consists of 2 pits, east and west, with waste dumps located along the northern boundary. Ore stockpiles located between the 2 pits leading down to the processing plant located along the southern boundary. Tailings dams located in the southeast corner of the lease, and several water storage dams located across the lease. Just to give an idea of size of the resource, this shows the Sunrise resource superimposed over the Sydney CBD, where the resource would cover from Elizabeth Bay in the east, Anzac Bridge in the west. To the north, the resource would encompass Darling Harbour through to Central Station and Surrey Hills in the south. So the resource is a shallow deposit where the planned mining method will be a shallow open cut pit with the ore lying only 40 to 50 metres below the surface. So over 1,500 drill holes have already been drilled into the resource, which gives us a high percentage of measured and indicated resources. This provides an overview of the flow sheet, where we won't go through this in too much detail, but basically ores put in through the front end, and nickel and cobalt sulfate and scandium oxide are produced through a complex series of chemical processes. So the Sunrise project uses a hydrometallurgical processing circuit, with the front end being a high-end high-pressure acid leach circuit, which made up of 2 autoclaves. This is coupled with an ion exchange system to recover metals out of solution. So the benefits of ion exchange are a smaller footprint than the conventional metal extraction circuits, reductions in capex and reagent use. It provides the simplest and lowest cost route to produce battery grade metal, so bypasses intermediate products and third-party refining. So we refine through to high quality nickel and cobalt sulfates, targeting the growing electric vehicle battery industry. And this all takes place in the one location in central west New South Wales. So it enables direct to precursor production and also recycling of black mass from spent batteries. So this is a proven and robust process which is currently in use at operations globally. I mentioned scandium there earlier, but so in addition to the nickel and cobalt present in the resource, Sunrise is also the world's largest known scandium deposit. So currently global supply of scandium oxide is only around 10 to 15 tonnes a year. So the Sunrise flow sheet has scandium oxide refining capacity of up to 20 tonnes a year installed from year 3, and this can be expanded to 80 tonnes a year with a modest additional capital outlay of around 25 million. So as the market grows, future investment in a dedicated resin in pulp scandium circuit offers the potential to increase scandium output by another 150 tonnes per year. We've actually got some agreements in place with companies such as Panasonic, Relativity Space, and programs underway with a range of additional parties to develop lightweight aluminium scandium alloys for the aerospace, additive layer manufacturing, consumer electronics and automotive sectors. So in terms of the project, the Sunrise, it's a significant project with technical studies of 250 million invested to date. There's been extensive piloting and hydrometallurgical test work has been completed with excellent results, which de-risks the overall flow sheet. So the project execution plan was released to the market in Q4 2020. This was led by Fluor Australia, which updated all the capital and operating estimates as well as design and engineering work. So this has allowed us to deliver us a revised master schedule for the engineering, procurement, construction, commissioning and ramp up of the project. So from awarding an EPCM contract for the project through to first production, we're looking at a period of approximately 3 years. We'll just touch briefly on our regional exploration. So in addition to the Sunrise project, we've got a number of exploration tenements across the region. We're probably one of the largest tenement holders within the region from an exploration point of view. So we've got tenements as far north as Nyngan and as far east as Minor, which is halfway between Dubbo and Narromine. So we've identified further nickel, cobalt and scandium platinum resources across High Lee, Sunrise East, Sunrise North and Burra Creek. Gleninga, Boona Gap and Easy Lime are limestone tenements where we're continuing exploration for high quality limestone resources. So the process uses, the Sunrise plant uses limestone for neutralisation of tailings, and we require around 500,000 tonnes of limestone annually. So we do have existing agreements in place for supply of limestone for the project, and the current limestone exploration activities will complement this supply. Minor current exploration activities have identified rare earth element deposits. And Sunrise North, Sunrise East and Burra Creek also contain gold, tin, porphyry, copper and granite related systems. In terms of the project approvals, we're actually in good shape with all major approvals in place. The latest being project modification Mod 7, which was approved in January this year. So this brings the project approvals in line with the design and operational changes identified during the project execution and planning stage to optimise the construction and operation phases of the project. The main project changes which triggered the need for a project modification were minor changes to road transport activities, minor plant layout changes, and operational and construction changes to optimise these phases of the project. With a project of this size, there's actually significant investment in infrastructure across the region as well that's required. So of the approximately $2.4 billion capital cost, around 200 million of that spend is on infrastructure which sits outside the mining lease, with a considerable portion of that investment being on shared infrastructure, which provides benefits to the general public and other users. So that includes rail upgrades, where we need to upgrade a 35-kilometre section of rail from Bogan Gate to a rail siding located 7 kilometres north of Trundle. So this is a shared spurred line which runs through to Tottenham. So these benefits will also, these upgrades will also benefit other rail users. The new rail siding located to the north of Trundle. So this will allow us to take inbound reagents off the train and move it onto trucks for transport to site, and then vice versa for product going out. The rail siding is made up of container storage areas, an ammonium sulfate or AMSL storage and distribution facility, and supporting infrastructure. So the AMSL storage and distribution facility is an interesting one. So the Sunrise project will produce up to 70,000 tonnes of AMSL, which will be produced annually as a byproduct of the nickel and cobalt refining process. So AMSL is basically a fertiliser, and there's a local market for that product. So we'll set up to be able to distribute that product locally from this facility. So this will reduce the need for farmers in regional New South Wales to travel to the coast to take delivery of imported AMSL. Local road upgrades. So road transport routes for the Sunrise project run through both the Parks and Lachlan Shire councils. So the project includes upgrades to local roads across both of these shires. While this is important for our project, it also provides significant benefits for local community and road users. So it includes a 29.6 kilometre section of road upgrade between Trundle and Fifield, intersection upgrades, construction of new intersections at the site entrance. Water pipeline, we can't do much without a decent water supply, so we've got rights secured for 6 bores and 2 river pumps down along the Lachlan near Uther. So the water pipeline's a 70 kilometre long, 450 mil diameter pipeline to supply water to the site. The pump runs through the Lachlan and Forbes Shire councils and follows an existing travelling stock route. So we've recently completed all the approvals with both the Lachlan and Forbes Shire councils to enable the pipeline to be installed and operated. So this also presents some local opportunities for supply of fire water at locations such as Uther. The electrical transmission line, obviously we'll need a decent power supply for the project. So we'll need a new 80 kilometre long 132 kV line will be required between the Park Zone substation and site. So this allows connection into the Central West Renewable Energy Zone. The Sunrise project, so we're committed to 100% renewable energy to minimise the carbon footprint of the project. So the renewable grid connection complements the on-site steam turbine, which generates about 40% of the project's power requirements through the use of waste heat from the 2,500 tonne per day sulfuric acid plant. So the new 132 kV power line will also allows for future load and renewables growth along the ETL alignment, which runs between Parks, Trundle, and then through to Fifield. Sulphur storage and loading facility. So one of the main reagents required for the project is sulphur. So this will be imported and require a sulphur storage shed located at the Port of Newcastle. So sulphur will then be transferred into containers and transported via rail to the proposed rail siding near Trundle, and then onto site by road. Local communications upgrades. So the project will improve communication in the local area through the installation of optic fibre and mobile phone tower. So this will improve mobile phone coverage for the local community within 20 kilometres of the mine site. So this includes areas of Firefield and some areas between Condobolin and Tullamore where the signal's pretty patchy at best at the moment. The oversized transport route. So the autoclaves form the heart of the high pressure acid leach process. So that's the autoclaves which we currently own, which are sitting in Port Pirie in South Australia. So these weigh 600 tonne each. So they're 35 metres long, 6.5 metres wide, and about 9 metres high once we put them on a trailer. So as you can appreciate, these present some logistical challenges in getting them and other oversized loads to the project site. So during the construction phase of the project, we estimate there'll be over 1,000 loads which will be transported to site from a port, with approximately 150 oversized loads transported from Port Pirie to Firefield. So that's a distance of around 1,200 kilometres. So as part of the project, we'll establish a permanent oversized transport route between Port Pirie and central west New South Wales. So this may present some synergies with other renewable projects, such as the transportation of components for wind turbines. So we're currently working closely with the road, rail and power authorities across both New South Wales and South Australia to undertake planning, design and approvals to debottleneck the proposed oversized transport route. So this will allow us to complete the required modifications along the route once project funding is secured. We've also got our operations centre in Parkes. So this will be used as the local project office during the construction phase, with capacity for 50 to 60 people. This will then transition to the operations support office once the project moves into the operations phase, where site support roles can be based to minimise unnecessary travel to site for office-based roles. It also presents capability for use as a potential future remote plant control centre. Battery recycling. So we're currently undertaking some test work for the future addition of battery recycling as part of the Sunrise flow sheet. So the requirement for battery recycling is already legislated in the EU, and other jurisdictions are expected to follow. So we believe integrated refineries such as the one planned for Sunrise are well suited to recycling of the metals from spent batteries, particularly as spare refinery capacity increases over time as mining feed grades typically decline in later years. In terms of project financing, so the Sunrise project has a robust project economics with an NPV of US 1.2 billion, a payback period of just over 5 years, a post-tax cash flow of US 308 million, and so it's also an exceptionally low cash cost nickel producer. So after byproduct credits of cobalt and scandium, it's actually a negative 80 cents per pound producer of nickel. So the project has a 50-year operation, which is supported by JORC compliant oil reserves. So where are we at currently in terms of financing? So the project financing has been the key focus area since completion of the project execution plan at the end of 2020. We've received good support in terms of debt financing, with 50% of the project's funding from commercial debt through 4 leading global banks. We've also received a letter of support from Export Finance Australia for up to 400 million, plus confirmation of other global export credit agency support. So this has been helpful to demonstrate to potential equity partners that we have a good level of government support for the project. And we're currently working closely with potential equity partners across the EV market to tie exclusive offtake agreements for the supply of nickel and cobalt for battery manufacture. So future procurement opportunities. As you can appreciate, a project of this size and complexity provides many and varied opportunities for lots of different parties to get involved. So opportunities include civils, earthworks, a 1,900 person contractor camp, the supply of ore processing equipment, so mills, crushers, screens, tanks and vessels in many different shapes and sizes, lots of wide and varied types of pumps, motors, pipework, valves, power generation equipment, electrical equipment, so transformers, switchboards, etc. The electrical transmission line, surveying and delivery services, procurement and freight services, and of course the oversized transport route. So we estimate there's approximately 100 future tender packages that will be available once the project's financed across a wide range of disciplines, and these will be tendered through ICN Gateway. So you might ask, how can I get involved? So if you want to find out more about the project, tenders and EOIs will be made available through ICN Gateway. There will, however, be limited contractor construction opportunities until the project's funded. We do hold open offices at both our Condobolin and Parkes offices on the second and fourth Tuesday and Thursday of the month. Also check our website for any job opportunities as the project progresses. And if you'd like to be kept up to date, I encourage you to register for updates via our website, and you'll be kept informed as the project progresses. You can also register for future supply and tender opportunities through ICN Gateway, which I believe Jerome Bodian will provide some information on later in the day. So in summary, the Sunrise project is a project that we're really excited about, and we believe will play a key role in lowering the environmental burden on our planet through the supply of critical minerals for applications such as electric vehicles and future technologies. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Any questions?
Thanks, Mike. That was really informative. It certainly does sound like a really exciting project. How critical is it to coordinate with the infrastructure upgrades that you've spoken about as you lead to full finance of project and commence construction phase?
Yeah, the infrastructure upgrades are definitely a key part of the project. I mean, we can't do the project without them. You know, it enables us to bring in large pieces of equipment, via the oversized transport route. Bring in our regular supply of reagents for the project via the local road network, and also the rail upgrades. to allow us to bring sulphur trains in from Newcastle. So they're definitely a key part of the project, and that's something we're working closely with the Department of Regional New South Wales on looking at whether there's opportunities to possibly share costs on some of those upgrades, or look at approvals for those upgrades to make sure that they can be done in a timely fashion.
And it most definitely improve the livability of the Hunter region as well, just for local community. And we talked about AMSL, the fertiliser, being readily available rather than being imported, must present an incredible saving for farmers.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an opportunity. Initially, I think the project, we were going to take the AMSL and just put it on a train and send it out elsewhere. But we investigated a bit further and found that there was quite a strong local market for that product. So that distribution facilities been particularly designed to allow farmers to come in their trucks and fill up and I guess be able to get that product locally.
What an exciting project. If you'd like to speak with Mike and learn more about the Sunrise project, please head to the Sunrise Energy Metals booth and you can talk to him there. Thanks, Mike.
No worries. Thank you.